Why would you say that?
Because ever since I've...
Good evening, Neapolitans. NeapolitanGal here. Well, I am recording the sunset, so that'll be my second video this evening. And I've only got a handful of giveaways to go through today. Hopefully I can win something. If not, no big deal. We had some fun. So I'll be posting this. I'll be posting a video of the sunrise on the east coast of Daytona Beach, and I'll be posting tonight's sunset here in Naples. Both were absolutely gorgeous. I got to watch the sunrise this morning on Daytona, and I get to see the sunset tonight in Naples. So let's jump right in. What have we got here? I got a Serilife placemats, heat resistant, table mats, cross weave, woven, non-slip, double layer, placemats for dining table, set of 4 white leaves. Yeah, I need a set of 5, but they don't ever sell sets of 5 of anything. So, nope. So let's close that up. Now, if some of y'all are wondering, how did I get to see both sunrise and sunset this morning? And you know, it's as crazy as it sounds, I actually watch the EarthCam video feed. I do live in Naples, Florida, and I can go down to the Naples Pier, but this time of night with the sunset, whew, you can't get within a mile of the water because people are just, sorry, my son was coming out asking me to take him to McDonald's for a frappe. I'm a little busy right now. So, but yeah, the beach gets so busy down here in the evenings. But I'll show you the tail end of the sunset, but you'll get to see the whole video. It's about 20 minutes long of the sunset, but here is tonight's sunset. It's called EarthCam. They do have cams just about everywhere, but it's really kind of cool. They also have one that's on Times Square. The Times Square one's really cool because you can actually hear people. The Daytona one was really quite cool this morning. If I wasn't getting ready for work and messing around in the kitchen, I would have let the sound on that one be recorded because you could hear the surf, which I thought was really awesome. Okay, so not out of there. These pictures I find are really pretty. I have a lot of cheap artwork, but artwork nonetheless in my condo, and you can never have to have too much artwork if it's done right. There's never so much, never anything is too much, right? I'll run through these pretty quick tonight because in about a half an hour my husband's going to call me from the bowling alley next door, and it's National Tequila Day, and I do like a margarita from time to time. In fact, I haven't had one in a while. So I am going to head to the bowling alley here shortly and have at least one margarita, maybe more. And don't worry, it's quite literally the bowling alley is a half a mile from my condo. But my husband's not getting trashed, and I really won't be getting trashed either. But if it so happens, then it happens. I can always walk home, right? So no, I don't drink and drive. If I feel like I'm, getting buzzed, then I don't drive. Luckily, when you live next door to your watering hole, it's not so bad. I had a friend play a minor trick on me earlier. She says, on Saturday night, we had a cookout at sort of a cookout. We call it steak night at a friend of my mom of mine. She lives just down the street from me, and I had plans Saturday night. 9 o'clock, I had karaoke plans with some friends, but we had this dinner also planned. So I said, well, I'm going to drop my son off at home, but I don't really want to leave this sitting on the counter all night. It's a grill. It's, I don't know, it's about 15 to 18 inches wide and about a foot deep, and it's a countertop electric grill. And I asked my friend, I said, can I swing back by and pick this up tomorrow? Well, tomorrow was Sunday, and I totally forgot to go back by and get it. So I said, when I remembered today, because I made my son and I some hamburgers for supper, I'm like, oh no, I completely forgot. So I said, okay. I sent her a text message real quick, and I said, you know, my son and I got to run into town for a little bit this afternoon. He wanted to go buy a few things from Best Buy. I said, so if it's okay with you, I said, if you're home right now, I'll swing by. So she literally lives about the same distance in the opposite direction as the bowling alley is from my condo. So she says, no, I'm not home right now. She says, I'll message you when I get home. I said, okay, it's fair enough. So when I went over to pick up my my grill, she sent me this text message. She says, oh, I'm sorry, guys, it's a two-piece grill plus the top, the lid. And she says, I'm really sorry. She says, I just couldn't figure out how to clean this thing. You know, and she was just being facetious. She was being, you know, full of herself. And she says, and she was, no, she was just joking. How this got off center, I'll never know. Didn't realize that was off center. Must have moved when I paused it the first time. But anyway, so she was just joking around with me. But yeah, she sends me this text message. I couldn't figure out how to clean the electric part of your grill. I'm thinking, oh my God, this has been sitting. Today's Wednesday, and we used the grill on Saturday. I'm thinking, oh my God, I can't imagine what this thing looks and smells like. Having sat with steak juice, it said Saturday. I'm like, oh no. But I got there and she was just joking around with me. But it was like, holy smokes, what have I got myself into? You know, and you know, it's an honest mistake. I totally forgot the grill was even at her place until I got ready to make burgers tonight. I'm like, oh yeah. So I had given it a cursory thought yesterday. But I was so busy at work, so we normally have 5 people in the office. The owner, our parts manager, and then 3 girls who answer phones. And then we've got 12 or 13 technicians altogether. So, but this week, one of our phone girls is on vacation, and so is the owner. They're not really in relation. They're not in the same area for vacation, but so we're down a pair of hands for phones, and we're down a pair of hands for, you know, answering questions or what have you. So it's been super duper busy, and honestly, it's no busier than it used to be, than it would be if these 2 were there, but it's just the fact that it's only 2 of us taking the calls instead of 3. And our poor parts manager, he's trying to run the whole show, and he's just, I think if he was a drinker, he probably would have a red nose the whole week. So, yeah, sunset's just about done, and then I can turn off that phone. So here is what my channel is going to kind of morph into. I'm going to continue doing these videos with Amazon giveaways. However, what I am going to start doing, and I'm going to continue to do the rants and probably cooking from time to time, but the majority of what this is going to become is me telling you about the different parks and stuff in our area, Like, for instance, our zoo here. We've got a nice zoo. I mean, the zoo also has a botanical garden in it because we are tropical. So every first Saturday of the month is what they call Free Zoo Day. A few years ago, actually many years ago now, the Collier County, which is the county I live in, residents, we took a vote that the land that the zoo is on would become protected. It was going to be, it was trying to be sold for some reason to a developer, which more or less would kick the animals out, so to speak. They would be scattered to other zoos. The zoo would have been closed, and then they would have built high-rise condos. And we don't need any more high-rise condos in Naples. We have too many of them now. Oh, what a pretty sunset. But, so we, through a vote, I think it was 80% of the vote was to protect and preserve our zoo, which we did in earnest. And because we did, then all Collier County residents, not Lee County, which is the next county up, or Glades County, which is halfway between here and Miami, and the Everglades, obviously. Just Collier County residents can go to the zoo for free on Free Zoo Saturday, which is typically, unless it's a holiday, is the first Saturday of every month. So I figured I would do some sort of video the first Saturday of the month, which is coming up. It won't be this Saturday, but it'll be the following Saturday, I think the 3rd. Also going to start taking you guys to some of our beaches, take you to some of our parks. I'm going to take you guys out into the Everglades, not into the Everglades, just what we call Tamiami Trail, which is the road that leads from East Coast to West Coast, Florida. And it also goes quite a bit north. But the part I'm going to want to take you guys on is the part out east, heading to the East Coast. Out there, we're going to see some gators. Probably see some pythons, though they're fairly elusive. But we do have them. So many birds. We have birds upon birds. I mean, and they're gorgeous. I mean, we have the snowy egret. They're absolutely beautiful birds. Talk about big bird. We have the white ibis, which in the mornings you can almost always see a flock of white and black ibis. The black ones are the youth. They haven't received, haven't gotten their white feathers yet. It's sort of like bald eagle almost, with how they're nearly solid black, or they are solid black when they are first being raised, and then over time they get that beautiful white head about them. These birds are sort of the same way. They start off with black color. I think it's for camouflage, honestly, and then they turn that gorgeous white color. Now, if I lived more towards the center of the state and then into Central Florida, we would also be seeing sandhill cranes. I'm sure there are some places around here, but I haven't seen a sandhill crane down in this area in a very long time. On the East Coast, we actually have flamingos. Yes, I did say flamingos. Okay, so yes, we used to have flamingos here in the area. Our airport here, RSW, in Fort Myers, when I was younger, very much younger, my late brother Jim was in the service. No, he was not killed in the service, but he was killed on active duty while he was on call to go to Desert Storm in '91. But he was killed here locally in an industrial accident. But anyway, I digress. So, one of my favorite memories was whenever we would take him to the airport whenever he was home for a visit, and see the flamingos in the ponds. around the airport. I think when the airport was expanded many years ago, I think then, and all the development around the airport, you wouldn't believe the development around our entire area, the way it's grown since I've lived down here since 1986. But I think that's a lot of the reasons why the flamingos are gone. Like Naples, we used to have the little parrots. I think they were Quaker parrots. We used to have those here. And I think basically the same thing happened with those guys, is that with the development in Naples, oh my gosh, we have development over the years. 2 years ago, just prior to Hurricane Irma, one of my friends and her mom, and I think her daughter, no, I think it was just her mom, I and her, went up to Siesta Key, which is in the Sarasota area of Florida, so almost halfway up, or right at halfway up on the west coast. So it's just a straight shot for us up north, but we were up there just about a month prior to Irma, and it's the first time I'd ever been to Siesta Key, and I heard I was like, I mean, the sound of a parrot, of a Quaker parrot, I believe is the breed they are. I mean, it's unmistakable. It's like, I haven't heard that sound in forever. I used to be a pharmacist technician many years ago. Never again. But here in Naples. And I used to work at a store down towards the beach in Naples. And that particular store had an acai berry acai palm that was by our back door near the pharmacy. And one evening, so I remember seeing the parrots at Loudermilk Park, which is another really nice park here in Naples. But, you sort of forget about some of this stuff sometimes. And when I started working down there, it was like, and you stick your head out the door, and lo and behold, there's parrots attacking, little green birds attacking the tree for the berries, and it is so cool. But we really don't have them local anymore. It's kind of nice when you do find unexpected things like that. I mean, it's very thrilling. It's very peaceful. So, our area is growing by leaps and bounds, and we start losing a lot of our wildlife and a lot of our habitats for the wildlife. Our Everglades area, though, unfortunately, what's happening with it is, it's the pythons. Ooh. The pythons get out there and they figure about 75% or more of our natural wildlife has been lost to the pythons. And this includes the panthers, and this includes our deer. And, the pythons are just awful. But I want to start taking you guys to different nature walks and things like that. Some of our beaches, possibly if I get enough subscribers and things, I'll come up with a number, and you help me get to that number, and then I will do something. Maybe get a paddleboard. We do have an island that the only way to get to this island is by water. Whether you're doing a stand-up paddleboard, if you're doing a kayak, if you're doing a small vessel, or you take the ferry over. Called Key Waden. I am even thinking about taking you guys over to Key Waden with this. So we'll just have to wait and see what I come up with. But I've made a nice list. Let me get my list out here. what does this say? Pause and relax. So my list is, oh, get rid of that list. Naples Zoo, and I've got all the first Saturday's dates saved. Naples Pier sunsets and videos of the coastline. Our coastline is absolutely gorgeous, especially after dark, because you see the lights of the city and the homes and the streets, and they backlight our palm trees and such. And quite honestly, when you're walking back into shore from the end of the pier, whether you're halfway or all the way or even a quarter of a way on the pier, and you turn around, you look, sometimes you forget you're in Florida. It will make you feel like you are in Hawaii. I've never been to Hawaii, but I can tell you that that's the feeling I get. It feels like I don't actually live here. It feels like I'm visiting every time I go down to the pier. And I really am a resident. I do live here year round. I have lived down here year round. Hell, I've never even lived here part-time. But, I've lived here year round. I've been here for 33 years. So it's interesting to say the least. So here are some of the places I'm considering taking you guys to with the camera, obviously. So the Naples Zoo, and I've got all the dates listed until next July. And it's funny because then the first Saturday of July next year is 4th of July. But because it's a leap year, because it would be Friday, but since there's a leap year, it's Saturday. So the following Saturday is 7-Eleven. So we'll take you guys to the zoo, and more people stop at 7-Eleven for a Slurpee. The Naples Pier sunsets with the coastline. Clam Pass. Oh, Clam Pass is a beautiful place. Let me pull it up on the map real quick, and I'll be right back. Okay, so I've taken myself off of the camera, but I wanted to show you, this is Clam Pass. This is, I'm going to zoom out real quick so you can see exactly where we are. It's called Clams Pass. It's actually a little bay right here. This is obviously Florida, and this is Clams Pass. And then what happens is, I used to work for this hotel here, and I used to drive one of these carts that they have here. And what Clam Pass is, it is a county park. If you got a beach pass, you get to park here for free. If not, it's like $15 for the day. Park here. You take either a 7 or 8 passenger golf cart from this loop-de-loop all the way down this path. This one here, the white one. It will take you 3/4 of a mile through a mangrove forest. These are mangroves. There are different ones. There's red, black, and white ones in there. We'll take you over the only drawbridge in the county. Continuing on, and then there is a little concession stand. There's a bathhouse. There is a place here you can rent cabanas. You can rent water sports equipment. You can walk down the beach this way, and this is Clam Pass here. Every couple of years this closes up. They do this huge dredging project and open it back up. You can paddleboard, you can kayak, all up in this area. There is always an opportunity to see a manatee in here. Sometimes when that pass does close off, this estuary sort of dies off a bit, especially when we have red tide. Red tide is absolutely horrendous, but it's really quite an interesting ecosystem here. During what we call season, which is from about the 1st of November through about the 1st of June, our local conservancy actually does a nature walk through here every day, starting I think at like 8 o'clock, and they teach you about these mangrove trees. And then they also teach their drivers on the trams about these mangrove trees, so they can, the rest of the year, can fill everybody else in. So let's click on the Clam Pass picture here real quick. This is the boardwalk that you are riding or walking down. There's a picture of the beach here. Let's see what else they got. Here's another good picture. This is actually right at the drawbridge. If there was a way to change this, you would actually, behind this little section here is a drawbridge. And it's made for sailboats and things to pass through. It's one of the kayaks that you can rent. So let's see what else we got here. This is a picture of one of the trees, mangrove trees. Mangroves actually help hold our coastline together. Without mangroves, we would lose much of our coastline. We would also lose a lot of our estuary areas. These are called osprey. They make very high piercing noise. They are as big as, I believe, or not, or maybe just a little bit smaller than a eagle, a bald eagle. This is a little pond that's right next door to the what do they call it? Naples Grand Beach Resort. There will be a pool deck over here, the hotel, and a bar. And then over here is the loop-de-loo. You really can't see it in this picture, but over here is the loop that the trams go around. But we do, because of the pipe system, we do get baby gators in there once in a while. Usually not much bigger than 4 to 6 feet, but we do get them. It's a picture of the concession area down where the tram lets you off. No fires, no animals other than service animals, no trash, no drinking, no skating, no driving. The boardwalk really isn't wide enough for a car, though they have had one guy go down there before. No fireworks, no riding bikes, no liquor. This probably means no glass. So the boardwalk is made of recycled plastic. That's one of our snowy egrets. These birds get close to 4 feet tall, I think. It's a beautiful park. There are tortoises there, as you see in that one picture. Also, so that's Clam Pass. Let's see here, Keewaydin Island. Now south of here is this other island. It's called Keewaydin Island. I've never been there myself, but again, the only way there is by water. So it's actually a chain of smaller islands, of bays and such. This is called Gordon's Pass. This actually is the entire island here, and as you see, there's Dollar Bay and a few others. I'm actually writing a kid's book that has Bowman's Bay on it. I believe is this one. Well, it's not listed on the map right now, but yeah. So my book actually has, I believe it's called Bowman's Bay on it, featured in it. But this is Keewaydin here. I don't know that Keewaydin has any pictures. Oh, there is a 360 picture. Let's take a look. It's a secluded beach. There actually is, I should say, are a few homes out here on the island. And I work for an appliance repair company, and the only way to get out to these people is by the ferry that takes you out there. Another osprey's nest. There's one of the homes that is on that island. Incredible, isn't it? This is a tern, I believe. You know, it's a beautiful place, but I don't know. Oh, is this a coyote? And we do have coyotes here. But I don't know that I would, you know, want to live there full time or have a home there. Gorgeous dolphin. Because, you know, it's really difficult when we do have hurricanes to make yourself safe. And, oh, isn't that beautiful osprey? You know, to make yourself safe. So, I mean, when you have a home out there, it's like, holy cow, where do you go? Yes, they're gorgeous, they're huge. But again, where do you go? I mean, it's incredible. So our next one is Big Cypress Preserve. It's funny, this place, we actually wind up having a lot of encounters with, what do you call them, with Florida Panthers out here. It's funny because Florida Panthers don't like, they are just as afraid of you as you are of them. And I know you hear that a lot with wildlife, but it really is the truth. They'll go running down these boardwalks, and when they encounter a person, they skitter and they keep going, because they're not there to pounce on you or to attack you. They're trying to get someplace, and you just happen to be in their way. So let's see here. This is one of my favorite places, Kaiwi-Ochobi. They are a animal preserve. People like you and I who get these animals and don't realize how big they're going to be, or zoos that get themselves into a spot of trouble where they can't handle their animals anymore, what have you. They wind up with these animal preserves, and you know, it's terrible, but at the same time, at least there are places who can handle them. This is a Florida panther. Now there are cougar mixes in our area, so it's entirely possible this is a cougar mix, but you can always tell the difference in our Florida panthers. They're smaller than a regular cougar from up north. Here's some tortoises. This guy, I believe, I forget his name, but I believe if this is the same iguana, he passed away about a year and a half or so ago. They have many tigers. This, I believe, was a jaguar named Diablo. If this is the same jaguar I'm thinking, he did pass away a few years ago. If it's the same jaguar, which I believe it is, I've actually known this cat since 1998, I believe. This is one of two of the twin white tigers they have. Are they gorgeous? And they're ostrich. They have I don't know if these are the two. They've got Ceruleum and Sabalazar. Sabalazar, I don't know if this is Sabalazar or if this is Sabina, but those two are raised together. It's just, look at these beautiful peacocks. But it's kind of a cool place to go to. If you are in the area, a lot of times you can give them a donation of cleaning supplies or money, and they'll actually let you in to see the animals when you drop things off. Ding Darling is another nice place to go to. It's actually in Sanibel Island. So that's about to get from my house to there, depending on traffic, it's nearly an hour. Only because it is actually on a barrier island. Let me zoom out here real quick and show you. It's actually on a barrier island. Look at there. Way out there. See, I'm down here. Is where I'm at in this area. It doesn't seem that far away, but to get there, you have to go the beach line. And the beach line isn't the fastest way, isn't, a fast way to go, but it is faster than going around alternatively. But what Ding Darling is, it is a wildlife refuge. It's a self-driving, you drive it, you're on your own tour. And there's different places you can get out, and they have little boards that tells you about the animals and the plants that you might see. They even have a lookout tower that you can climb up that has the like binocular stations, the old binoculars you put like a quarter in and zoom in on things. I will take you out there eventually. It does cost money to go across the bridge, but it's not that much, and I do love Ding Darling, so it's well worth it. So where else are we going to go? I'll show you two parks from above. The Gordon River Greenway Park. It is a really nice park. And what it is, let's see. Oh, they have us over here by the zoo. It actually backs up to the zoo. You can park here or park here. And what it does is it takes you down through the mangroves. There's a bridge that goes over the water here. This is the Gordon River. That's why they call it Gordon River Greenway. Then if you were to keep walking or riding your bicycle, which you can do both, it'll take you to the back of the airport and you can come back. It's a little over 3.5 mile round trip. Should take you about 45 minutes depending on whether you're biking it or walking it. And then, let's go back to the entrance. And then directly across the street is Freedom Park. Freedom Park, it's a collection of little ponds and all kinds of trails that you can walk. No skateboarding, no riding bicycles. When there is water, you can fish in the ponds. But what I want to show you is, if you've never been here, is this memorial. Oh, this is an old picture of the memorial. This is actually finished now as an American flag. That's disappointing that they don't have the finished product on here yet. Oh, you can sort of see it from above. Let's see if Freedom Park has a picture of it. That flag took a long time for them to complete. See here? It took a long time to complete because they just kept running out of funding and stuff for it. And I think, I'm not sure if there's names in the tiles or if they have a place there that has names on it for fallen soldiers and such. Here's the picture of the memorial. Let's see if we can read this. Freedom Memorial, honoring victims and heroes of September 11th attacks on the World Trade Center, the Pentagon, and United Airlines Flight 93, members of our armed forces past and present, firefighters, law enforcement officers, and emergency medical service providers. Like I said, it did take quite a bit of time for them to finish that, but once they finish, it's absolutely gorgeous. I drive past it a couple times a week, sometimes more. But isn't that beautiful? The park is nice. I haven't been to the park in a long time. Oh, here's the backside, and it's got a fountain, looks like. I haven't been to the park since they finished it. But it's, you drive past, it's all inspiring. So we will take a tour of that. Let's see what else I have on my list. We'll hit Marco Island, and then we'll do a few other places too. But I would like to show you guys around, and this is the greatest way to show anybody around. Let's zoom out real quick, and I want to show you the path I would love to traverse with you. Obviously, I'm not going to walk it, and we're obviously not going to get a lot of it in. But this is Tamiami Trail. I turned 41 this year, so I'm officially Tamiami Trail. It's 41. There are a couple of places out here. Seminole State Park. We have Indian villages out here. There are places to stop and look around. See the Indian village there. A safari park. And before you get to the urban sprawl over here on the east coast, I mean, there's places along the way to stop. And even on 75, which is this road here, this is actually called, this is I-75 or Alligator Alley. And there are places to stop out here as well. The places out here to stop are just recreation stops or rest stops. But Everglades Parkway, Alligator Alley, and as you can see, that takes you right across the center of the Everglades. So I can pick 75 or I can pick 41, but I think if we do it, we're going to do 41 because we can fish out here and give you a chance to see more of what wildlife there is to see. So hang on tight. We're going to have a bumpy ride, and I hope you guys really enjoyed my video today. We've done a little bit of everything on here, and I was going to do a mukbang earlier, but I got sidetracked. Unfortunately, I had to go to my friend's house. So, all right, y'all have a great evening and take care.